Imagine flying at 37,000 feet when suddenly, everything goes wrong. United Airlines Flight 232 faced this terrifying reality on July 19, 1989. A catastrophic engine explosion created chaos, transforming a routine flight into a fight for survival. This incident reveals critical insights into aviation safety and human ingenuity during crises. United Flight 232 was a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, en route from Denver to Chicago. The aircraft experienced a catastrophic failure in its tail-mounted engine. Debris from the engine severed all hydraulic lines. Hydraulic systems control flight surfaces, like a car steering wheel. Without them, pilots lose ability to steer and control the aircraft. That's exactly what happened to the crew. Captain Al Haynes, First Officer Jeffrey Clucker, and Flight Engineer Denny Fitch faced a daunting challenge. They prepared to land without flight control. Instead of panic, they focused on what they could do. Denny Fitch, a flight engineer, suggested using reverse thrust from the engines. This brilliant improvisation allowed them to steer the plane. The crew's calmness under pressure is remarkable. They communicated with air traffic control, explaining their situation. Sioux City, Iowa became the chosen landing site. As they approached, the plane descended rapidly. Passengers braced for impact. The aircraft touched down on the runway, but landing gear failed. It skidded, broke apart, and caught fire. Rescuers quickly responded to save lives. Out of 296 people aboard, 185 survived. This tragic incident led to critical changes in aviation protocols. Airlines adopted new training systems. Flight crews learned to handle catastrophic failures more effectively. Aviation safety is crucial for every flight. The lessons from United Flight 232 shaped today's aviation standards. Thus, understanding this event is essential for passengers and crew alike. In summary, United Airlines Flight 232's engine explosion highlighted human courage and ingenuity. It reminded us how essential training and preparation are in emergencies. Interested in more aviation insights? Subscribe and stay updated. Share your thoughts in the comments below. On that fateful day, as chaos reigned inside the cabin, the crew members displayed remarkable resolve, each one playing a critical role in the unfolding drama. Captain Haynes, with steady determination, assured the frightened passengers that they would do everything possible to land safely, instilling a sense of calm amidst the panic. Meanwhile, First Officer Clucker monitored the instruments, trying to gather as much information as he could, while Fitch focused intently on how to modulate the engines, feeling the weight of responsibility resting heavily on their shoulders. With their hearts racing, the crew initiated a desperate maneuver, strategically using the thrust reversers to gain some semblance of control over the aircraft. As the majestic but damaged DC-10 approached Sioux City, every second felt like an eternity. The roar of the engines was suddenly a haunting reminder of the crisis they faced, yet the unwavering teamwork among the crew provided a glimmer of hope for everyone aboard. Captain Haynes maintained a composed voice on the intercom, urging everyone to prepare for landing as they neared the runway. As the aircraft descended, the ground rushed closer, but the crew remained focused, navigating the emergency with a combination of skill and sheer willpower. The moment of truth approached rapidly, and with the landing gear failing to deploy, Captain Haynes steered towards the runway, knowing that they were running out of options. A collective breath was held among the passengers as they braced for an impact that would change their lives forever. The tires met the asphalt with a jarring force, but the lack of landing gear sent the aircraft skidding violently, sparks flying and metal grinding against the runway. Inside, the chaos erupted, the sound of alarms mixed with the terrified gasps of the passengers, all unsure of their fate. As their hearts pounded, the crew's training kicked in. They shouted commands to unbuckle their seat belts, urging everyone to evacuate swiftly, their voices commanding amid the chaos. Rescuers arrived in record time, ready to save as many lives as possible. The indomitable spirit of those on board would soon be met with hope, as 185 individuals emerged from the wreckage, forever changed but alive. The aftermath of United Flight 232 ushered in a new era in aviation safety where the lessons learned would resonate through training programs worldwide. In the years that followed, airlines scrutinized their emergency protocols, ensuring that crews would be better prepared for catastrophic situations. The heroism displayed by Captain Haynes and his team not only saved lives but also sparked a commitment to making flying safer for everyone. Their legacy continues to inspire future generations of aviation professionals. The story of United Airlines Flight 232 stands as a powerful reminder of human resilience in the face of disaster, showcasing how training, teamwork, and ingenuity can turn a crisis into a testament of survival. As we reflect on this event, let us carry forward the lessons learned, ensuring that courage and preparation remain at the heart of aviation safety. As the aircraft skidded along the runway, the screeching of metal against asphalt filled the air, creating a cacophony that both terrified and galvanized the flight crew. In the midst of this chaos, Captain Haynes continuously guided his team, reminding them to remain vigilant and focused on getting everyone to safety. The evacuation procedures were critical, and each crew member instinctively took their designated roles, ensuring that the passengers moved swiftly to the exit. First Officer Clucker directed the flow of people, maintaining a calm yet assertive demeanor to combat the rising panic amongst those in the aisles. The cabin was filled with a chaotic blend of alarm bells and frantic screams as the crew worked tirelessly to execute a safe evacuation. Flight engineer Denny Fitch, recalling his emergency training, sprang into action, assessing the nearest exits and ensuring they remained clear for passengers. "This way. Follow me," he shouted, his voice cutting through the din, urging those around him to move quickly. The emergency exits, illuminated by flashing lights, beckoned the frightened passengers closer, and although fear gripped their hearts, there was also a glimmer of hope as they followed the crew's commands. Outside, the smell of burning fuel mingled with the smoke in the air, but the sight of rescuers rushing towards the wreckage provided a beacon of reassurance. The ground crew, equipped with fire suppression gear and stretchers, arrived just in time, ready to assist the survivors, their swift actions embodying the essence of teamwork in a crisis. As the last passengers made their way out, relief washed over Captain Haynes, knowing that their immense efforts had not been in vain. As the final passengers sprinted towards safety, the full extent of the incident began to sink in. Smoke billowed around them, and the ominous thuds of aircraft debris scattered across the runway echoed in the background. Denny Fitch took one last look at the damaged DC-10, where countless lives had teetered on the brink, and felt a mixture of pride and sorrow for those who were still inside the wreckage. Suddenly, a firefighter's shout broke through the haze. They were conducting a sweep for anyone left behind. Determined to ensure everyone evacuated, Captain Haynes and his team joined the rescue efforts, scanning each corner of the plane as flames roared to life in certain sections. The sight of their comrades working courageously to save lives fueled their resolve, and without hesitation, they plunged back into the smoke-filled cabin, driven by a profound sense of duty to every person on board. Every second counted, yet hope flickered brightly as more survivors emerged from the inferno, thanks to the quick responses of the flight crew and first responders alike. As they navigated through the debris, an intense urgency overshadowed any lingering fear. Captain Haynes and his team could not abandon their responsibility. Denny, his heart pounding, shouted to the others, "Check the back. We need to make sure everyone is clear." Every moment spent in that smoky environment felt like an eternity, yet they pressed on, driven by the knowledge that lives hung in the balance. Each person they found ignited a spark of hope in their hearts, reinforcing their determination to leave no one behind. As they reached what seemed like the final rows of seats, a shout from a frightened passenger echoed through the chaos, pleading for help. The crew rushed towards the sound, knowing that their swift action was the difference between life and death. With renewed purpose, the crew continued through the swirling smoke, their senses heightened by the urgent need to locate any remaining passengers. Captain Haynes led the way, his eyes scanning the dimly lit cabin for signs of life amid the devastation. Each voice they heard became a beacon in the confusion, their pleas reverberated painfully, fueling the fire in the crew's hearts. "Over here!" a child cried, and without hesitation, Denny Fitch pushed through the debris, reaching the back where the sound originated. The sight that greeted him was heart-wrenching. A mother clutched her young son, both terrified but unharmed, trapped but hopeful. "You're safe now? Let's get you out." Denny reassured them, his calm demeanor inspiring a glimmer of confidence. Together, they navigated the treacherous wreckage, the crew's unwavering resolve lighting the path forward. As they approached the exit, they knew they were close to completing their mission to spare lives. Every step echoed with the hope that they would indeed make it through the turmoil, growing stronger with each rescued passenger. With the last few passengers finally evacuated, Captain Haynes and his crew emerged from the wreckage, their lungs filled with acrid smoke and their bodies weary yet triumphant. As the roar of the flames intensified behind them, they gathered on the tarmac, a mixture of relief and disbelief washing over them. Firefighters continued to battle the blaze, and the sight of their heroic efforts reminded the crew of the fragility of life. In those harrowing moments, the bond forged through adversity became unbreakable, a testament to the incredible teamwork exhibited throughout the crisis. Captain Haynes turned to his team, gratitude and pride evident in his eyes, acknowledging the courage they all displayed against overwhelming odds. Together, they had faced a nightmare and emerged as symbols of resilience, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope and determination can shine through. As they gathered on the tarmac, heartbeats synchronizing with the distant sirens, Captain Haynes addressed his team, "We did everything we could. Your courage made a difference today." His voice was both firm and nurturing, creating a sanctuary amid the chaos that lay behind them. Each crew member nodded, eyes reflecting the weight of the experience, realizing that their actions had changed the course of many lives. Denny Fitch, still processing the harrowing rescue, murmured, "We were just doing our job, but it felt like so much more." In the midst of uncertainty, a shared understanding blossomed. What they had faced was more than a routine flight gone awry. It was a life-altering event bound by a collective truth. They had responded not just to an emergency, but to an intrinsic human duty. The realization settled gently, transforming their fear into resilience, as the sound of applause erupted from the crowd gathering nearby, acknowledging their valor. It was a solemn moment, heavy with the gratitude of those they had rescued, a moment that would forever remain etched in their hearts and minds. As the applause echoed around them, the enormity of their journey began to sink in for Captain Haynes and his crew. They understood that their experience would ripple through aviation history, instilling lessons in future generations of pilots and flight attendants. United Airlines Flight 232 would be remembered not just for the tragedy but for the indomitable spirit of those involved, forging a legacy rooted in courage, teamwork, and the relentless pursuit of safety. In that moment of shared triumph, they reaffirmed their commitment to aviation, each quietly vowing to continue pushing for improvements, ensuring that such a crisis could lead to vital changes for all. United Airlines Flight 232 serves as a poignant reminder of human resilience and the critical importance of preparedness in aviation. The bravery displayed by Captain Haynes and his crew not only saved lives but also spurred essential advancements in safety protocols that continue to protect passengers today. Their legacy lives on, inspiring future generations to prioritize courage and teamwork.